There are two different ways to think about multiples. Probably the first and easiest way is to think about it, it's just like you're counting by a number. For example, the first 5 multiples of 6. That was the question. That is nothing more than counting by 6. So you would have 6, 12, 18, 1, 2, 3. 4 would be 24 and 30. If you're counting by 6s, it's 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. What else would it be? What's the other way to think about it? The other way to think about it is in terms of your multiplication tables. This would be 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5. Because if they asked you what the 10th multiple of 6 is, you really shouldn't have to spend your time going 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. You just take 10 times 6, and that is 60. 60 would be the 10th multiple of 6. So when they asked you the first 4 multiples of 25, it'd be like counting by 25. 25, 50, 75, 100. Easy enough? Easy peasy lemon squeezy? Sure. Oh, and let's talk about this one because I know even though nobody asked it, somebody's asking out there. Problem number 9. A whole circle is 100%. What percent of a circle is 1/9 of a circle? This is all it is. What percent of a circle is 1/9? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've discussed such things before. This is a fraction story problem. So as we've discussed before, when you see a fraction story problem, what are you supposed to do, Colin?
You're supposed to write circle the ones that will be.
Draw a rectangle. Did you say draw a rectangle? That's what I heard, yes. You have a rectangle, and even though this said it's a circle, it doesn't really matter. This rectangle is 100%, ladies and gentlemen. And what are you doing that 100%? You are cutting it into 9 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I added one more. It doesn't really matter. Now here's the gist, ladies and gentlemen. How do you cut 100 into 9 equal pieces? Well, unfortunately, Frankie, you are going to have to do the hard math. Yeah, it's not like a mental one. Some things are, some things aren't. You take 100 and divide it by 9. You get a remainder of 1, but we got to make a mixed number. It's 11, and each one of these things is 11 and 1/9. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a fraction circle. That would have been the easiest way to do it. But you don't have that. Not always will you. You're sometimes going to have to do the division. 11 and 1/9% would be the answer to that. We are just clearing up all sorts of mucky water. Kel? Can you borrow one from somebody? There's probably one in the little cup back there. Just so you don't miss anything. Take out your notes under fractions. We got just a couple things in our wonderful world of mathematics. The first thing we're going to talk about is adding and subtracting mixed numbers. Let's say that you have 16 2/3 plus what? I don't want that problem. I don't want that problem. Well, I guess we have to. 3 3/4 plus 2 3/4. 3 3/4 plus 2 3/4. This one gets a little complicated. What do you suppose is the first thing I'm going to tell you to do, ladies and gentlemen? Who can read my mind, Julia? Yes, write it up and down, ladies and gents. I get a little snarky when it comes to that. So it looks like this: 3 3/4 plus 2 3/4. And then as we talked about this, what are we going to do with this? We are going to add the fractions. Or subtract, add. What do I get if I add 3/4 plus 3/4? Please remember this. 3/4 plus 3/4 is, again, that's why you have circle pieces. If you took 3/4 and put another 3/4 with it, what you would get, Frankie?
6/4.
6/4, yeah. You add the tops and the bottoms stay the same. That sometimes confuses people. They add them both. No, you can't do that. 3/4 plus 3/4 is not 6/8. Okay? And then you add the whole numbers. And I get 5 6/4. And then, ladies and gentlemen, if you look back in your adding fractions notes, the last step is always what we like to say, simplify. And that could mean a whole bunch of nasty things. In this case, it kind of does. This is an ugly, ugly fraction. What does 6/4 really mean? What is the simplest way to say 6/4? There's a whole bunch of things. You have to do two things to this. First of all, it is improper, and it is also not reduced. So we have to do both of those things. What would be the first thing somebody would say we would do? Sam, what would you do first?
Turn 6/4 into a single one.
All right, 6/4 is one whole one with what left over?
2.
Yeah, with 2/4 left over. Okay, and I have to add that one to the 5. So now I have 6 2/4, but it's still ugly because 2/4, which is the other thing we're talking about today, can be reduced to what and why? Okay.
1/2.
How do you know?
Because 2 is half of 4.
2 is half of 4. Now, if you didn't know that, which is true, this does equal 6 1/2, which is our answer. But what about a fraction like 6/8? Now, you could use your little fraction things and see, or how do you reduce fractions? How do I change 6/8 into a fraction that's easier? You would not say I ate 6/8 of the pizza. Well, you might, but that's not the best way. Annie Clark?
You divide it
By?
by 6.
Well, 6 doesn't go into 8. You have to find out what number both of these can be divided by. And since they're even, we can divide them both by 2. What's 6 divided by 2?
4.
3. What's 8 divided by 2? 4. This fraction can be divided in half, so you get 3/4. 6/8, if you ate 6/8 of the pizza, you ate 3/4 of the pizza. One more. What about 5 3/8 minus 1 1/8? 5 3/8 minus 1 1/8. Well, the subtraction there is pretty easy. What is 3/8 minus 1/8? 3/8 minus 1/8. Jordan Shaw?
4 and it's 6.
Well, just give me that. We'll do the work later. What's 3/8 minus 1/8?
2.
Yes. You have 3 and you take 1 away, you're left with 2/8, and 1 from 5 is 4. This one we have to reduce or simplify, just like the last one. If you have 2 and 8, what number can you divide them both by? You can cut them both in half. If you cut them both in half, they ends up meaning half of 2 is 1, half of 8 is 4. 2/8 is the same as 1/4. So your answer is 4 and 1/4. this doesn't make you excited, I'm not sure what in math, the mathematical world would.
Yeah.
Said with a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. Alright, very good.